Well, y'all, there you have it. Surfer's ear taken care of. I'm going to finish this video up breaking down like the cost of what we did, and then we're gonna dive into my ears and take a look. This is a little Bluetooth wireless camera. I don't know, I just feel better. I can't even explain it. It's just life-changing. That's all I can say. Well, y'all, it's finally happening. The surgery for my surfer's ear is coming up in a few days. Today, Casey and the kids and I are packing up. We're headed out to California to see Dr. Hetzler there in Santa Cruz. He is the man who came up, as far as I'm certain, came up with the procedure of chiseling out the surfer's ear. Instead of the common way that people do it is they cut a flap behind the ear, fold the ear over, drill it out, sew the ear back up. Super invasive. I heard it's like a 6 to 8 week recovery process, and you can only do one ear at a time. Sounds pretty horrible. So I feel like when it comes to surgery and also somebody doing things inside my head, I'd rather make sure I go to the person who's like the man at it. Dr. Hetzler is that man for surfer's ear out there in Santa Cruz. He's done, I don't even know how many operations. I know like over a dozen guys that have gotten operations from him with their surfer's ear. And so we're going out there. We use some airline miles to bring the kids, so they're gonna get to see California for the first time. And yeah, gonna finally get this taken care of. Kind of shouldn't have let it get this bad, but as you saw this fall, I struggled through a lot of those swells with ear infections. I had the one point where my ear swelled shut. I don't even know if I talked about that, but my ear swelled shut. The pain was debilitating. I was just like in tears, like this throbbing, constant, severe pain, like no ear infection. It wasn't even comparable because the pressure from the bone touching the other side was just crazy. And then I would get these like shooting bursts of knifing pain. It hurt so bad. And so I actually called Dr. Hetzler that day when it started getting so bad to start the process of scheduling the surgery. But it takes a couple months to get in. So a couple months has finally come. It is my turn to get under the knife, and I'm super excited. I'll go out there, it's Friday, get it chiseled out. We'll come do a post-op after that the following week, and then come home. And it's like a 3 to 4 week recovery process being out of the water. Yeah, that's where we're at. I am gonna document this process. I'm gonna take videos of the trip and of the recovery and all that. Not of the surgery, because that's kind of weird, but not gonna take my camera. I don't wanna lug this thing around. I just want to be able to focus on being present with Casey and the kids, getting the surgery and healing. So gonna film everything from here to California and back on the phone, and then we'll finish out on the recovery side. Yeah, very thankful that got to get in a big north swell and then that south swell yesterday with friends and get some surfing in, get some pits, and enjoy just like proper wintertime surf here at home before this happens. And hopefully I'll be back first thing in March, ready for more swell. Process begins now. It is time to get this stuff out of my head. Let's do this. Going to California. Keep my ears chiseled. Meeting with Dr. Hetzler coming right up. Surgery in the morning.
So here's the left ear. Today is January 26th. So here we're seeing skin covering a bone growth on the back wall of the ear canal. Big growth there. A normal ear canal, we'd supposed to see the eardrum would fill up the whole view. And then there's a knob over there at kind of the 11 o'clock position. And then that dark channel is the channel going down to the eardrum. And then you got these little bits of wax here and there. And again, this is about 50 power magnification. So that's enlarging the view of that quite a bit. And then we go to the other side.
So what is that like closure wise?
Probably 95.
95. Yeah, that was my good ear.
On this side, again, we have this big knob of bone on the back side. There's a bunch of
oh my gosh, so much wax.
Laying all around there. And maybe there's a channel up there in the top somewhere.
Oh, whoa, yeah, I never could see that one.
Little tiny space. But this big thing coming off the back side and lots of wax. But no, I mean, the skin doesn't look infected, but there's just, a lot of debris around. And
Oh wow, it's touching on that top part,
yeah,
huh?
there is touching over there. A lot of closure.
A lot of wax. That ear is really dirty.
Well, it kind of gets stuck on the surface.
How's your schoolwork going?
Good.
I love you, buddy.
I love you too.
Well, post-operation here at the hotel, feeling much better now. I felt miserable on the back end of that, and not in the sense of pain. The pain is super mellow. I only have Tylenol in me, but I was really nauseous. I had never been under anesthesia before, never been put out, or whatever the term is, like that for a surgery. I've never had surgery. That was a first. And as the nurses put, I'm a bit of a lightweight for the anesthesia as far as like my size and my diet. So it took me a while to come out and feel normal. I was really woozy, really nauseous. Got back to the hotel, and I basically over 2.5 hours had to force feed myself 6 crackers. Nothing, even drinking water felt like it made me nauseous. And I was kind of starting to feel better, and so Casey went to go get some soup for me, something light. I took literally 2 tiny spoonfuls, and it just set me off. And I ended up, TMI, whatever. This is part of the process, so hopefully you guys can learn and understand what this process is like. But I ended up throwing up, and then felt way better. And I downed all of the crackers since then because now I'm actually hungry. I have an appetite. I don't feel nauseous at all. I feel so much more normal. I just can't hear because I got, let me see if I can use the mirror to, yep, I got cotton balls in both of my ears. So the cotton balls are for the bleeding because Dr. Hetzler does not sew up the incisions he makes. He just pats the skin back into the shape of your ear, lets it heal naturally by itself. It just means having to wear cotton balls to keep everything in there. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I gotta say, from meeting Dr. Hetzler yesterday afternoon, I was just so at ease with the whole process, so excited to get it done. And then from the very first person I saw and the first nurse that I dealt with this morning to the very last nurse that rolled me out to my wife, I could not say anything better about the care that I was given there. I forget the name of the place. The center where Dr. Hetzler does his surgeries isn't where his practice is, so it's different, but I'll put the name here, the information here. The care and genuineness of Dr. Hetzler is amazing. And all of the nurses and people that were, anesthesiologists, whatever, everyone at the hospital there was just so sweet, and yeah, nothing but good things to say. So this has been an awesome experience for my first surgery, and I am very excited to begin the healing process. I guess Dr. Hetzler talked to Casey while I was coming out of anesthesia, and she said that he told her he had a lot in there, and it's a really good thing he came because he needed to get it removed. So as you see in the before and after photos, it was he said the left side was a 95% closure. I forgot to ask him what he thought the right side was. I think it was 97, 98%. It was worse. My right side had actually touched in one spot on the other side. I think that's why my right side's always been my worst side, most painful, most tender, gets water stuck the easiest. And so, yeah, it's been wild, but now it's just time to sit in bed, hang out. Mason's doing school. Casey and Malia went to go get outside because it's real pretty. So, I'll be taking it easy tomorrow morning. We'll see how I feel tomorrow afternoon. Maybe we could go for a drive. But after that, it's just back to daily life. I just can't hear I have a follow-up with Dr. Hetzler on Tuesday, and on Tuesday he will go in and clean out any scabbing, any blood clots, and any whatever junk from what my ear puts out from healing. And from what I've been told by my friends, at that point, that's the point of like, oh my gosh, this is insane, the way it feels, and I'm so excited for that. But for the next few days, I'm going to be slightly deaf because I can't really hear. And yeah, looking to show the kids around California a little more once I feel better. Say what? Hey guys, it's really that is a legit seesaw. Day 4 update. It's Monday. Had surgery Friday morning. Ears still clogged. Tomorrow morning I go back to Dr. Hetzler and get them cleaned out. Pain hasn't been anything too bad. Definitely as the days have gone on, Saturday into Sunday and today, seems like I have to keep to that 4-hour regimen of Tylenol so that it doesn't hurt too much. But even still, when it does hurt, it isn't like crazy bad. So still really impressed that you can have bone chiseled out of your head and just need some Tylenol. Definitely feeling more tired. Just like I realized after day 1, we're doing some family adventuring, and every time we go out I get tired really easy. Taking a few naps mid-afternoon, midday. I just took a nap on the beach on the cobblestones. Yeah, that's about it so far. I'm excited to be able to hear better tomorrow. So I've been told, so we'll see. But yeah, I think that's one thing. The pain has gotten a little more annoying, and I don't know, I just kind of feel fatigued post-surgery, I guess. I don't know. We are just continuing our adventures up and down the coast here in Santa Cruz, going to the redwoods, just driving the coast, pulling over to some bays and beaches, and the kids get out and play and explore. Casey and Malia found a bunch of sea glass. Then a cool trip with the family. So, why don't we continue? Time to get my first cleaning. I can hear again. This is crazy. Just got my ears cleaned out by Dr. Hetzler, and she said everything looks good healing wise. Out of the water for 4 weeks or so, and doing good. Oh my gosh, I can hear. He just used this like little vacuum thing and suctioned all the blood and goo and stuff out. As gross as that is, and I can hear for the first time in like 5 days. It feels so good. I hear things happening outside. There's like a beeping over there. I've basically been alone in my head for the last 5 days, and now back to normal. So Casey and the kids are coming to pick me back up, bring me to the aquarium, maybe drive down Big Sur, and we're planning to stop by the O'Neill factory, or the offices, not the factory. So yeah, final day here in Santa Cruz. Well, y'all, there you have it. Surfer's ear taken care of. Came back from California. Took me approximately 6 weeks from the date of surgery until I could surf again. So that ended up being longer than projected and longer than Dr. Hetzler says. It's normally 3 to 4 weeks. I think part of the issue was I was only going to my ENT to get cleaned out every other week. He recommends going to get cleaned out every week. And so I think because of that, just took me a little longer. You know, here we are a couple months later since the surgery. I'm going to finish this video up breaking down like the cost of what we did, affordability, how to make it affordable with, you know, making sure you have insurance, those things. And then we're gonna dive into my ears and take a look. This is a little Bluetooth wireless camera. I'm gonna record it with the iPad. We're gonna check out the progress. Just to touch on a couple things. I think I covered a lot in the video. I mainly want to just tell y'all that like very easy surgery, very painless. Recovery was mellow. The only thing I had to do was every time I showered, I had to put cotton balls with Vaseline on them in my ears so that they wouldn't get wet. So it's kind of messy to clean up after, but super mellow. And then, yeah, just hang out and wait until I could surf again, until the ENT cleared me. Every time I would go, they would pick out as much scab and goo or whatever as they could. Anything that wouldn't come out, they had to leave and wait, and I would come back and they would reassess. You know, everyone's healing process will be different depending on how much growth you have, if it's both ears or just one, but it has been life-changing. I will literally say that was a life-changing thing to do. I didn't realize, you know, I thought it was just affecting me in the water, surfing, going swimming with the kids, whatever. I did not realize how much it was just day to day. Like, I didn't want to hug, like, not didn't want to hug, but when I would hug my kids or my wife, I was nervous about pain. I didn't even realize that until I didn't have pain anymore. And I was like, wait, why am I flinching? I think I had so much pressure and discomfort in my head that I didn't even know about. So like, I just feel more clarity, more, I don't know, I just feel better. I can't even explain it. As you saw in the photo, a lot of bone came out. That was a photo of the bone. As you saw in the before and after photos of the ears, it's like a tunnel in there now compared to like a wall. So my hearing hasn't changed, I will say that. A lot of people think that, you know, getting it done, my hearing will be better. As long as there's a sliver between the bone and the ear canal, you can hear the same. So my hearing now is no different than it was before. If you can't hear, it's because your ears are dirty, not because they're closed up. So clean your ears. And yeah, there's no one I have nothing bad to say about what I went through. Going to Dr. Hetzler, I would 100% fly out to California to do it again. And I think from now on, I'm going to be so adamant about earplugs when the water's 68 and below. So basically anytime I'm in any type of neoprene and under, I mean, you know, wetsuit top in the 70s, not worried about it. As soon as I'm putting on a spring suit or a short arm, earplugs. I do not want to have to go through that pain again. It was horrible last fall. But yeah, if I were to have it done again, 100% wouldn't even think about it. It was worth it beyond measure. So there's my testimony for everybody that's been wondering. I think you can make the healing process go quicker by applying Neosporin throughout once a day or something throughout the healing process. Once your ENT clears you to do that, you shouldn't be just sticking stuff in your ears right away. But that did speed up things the last 2 weeks for recovery. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. I think let's just dive in. Let's look at a little comparison of my ears first, and then we'll talk about cost of things after. So I'm gonna hit record here. We're officially recording on this little ear cam I got from my buddy Scott. So we're going into my ear. This is my right ear canal. And there it is. That's my eardrum. Try not to move too much. A little bit of wax in there. You could not see my eardrum before. So you can see there on the right side, over here, that's where the bone growth was. There on the left side, you see the clean, smooth ear canal. That's the opposite end. There is a little zone, I think. You can kind of see some white area on this left side that was where there was some growth, but most of my growth was on the right. You see some scar tissue build up, but I have a clear ear now, and I have plenty of time until that closes back up, and it feels amazing. I don't have to worry about ear infections. So we'll go into the left side. This is my left ear canal. You can see my eardrum clearly, but this side you can see a lot more scar tissue. You don't really see anything over on the right side, which is towards the back of my head, I didn't have any growth over there, I don't think. But you can see all of the, ooh, super overexposed. You can see all of the scar tissue on the left side from where the bone growth was. It's not as clean on this side as the other, but still wide open compared to what I had. And this is just insane. So that was my left and right ear. As you can see, it's just life-changing. That's all I can say. All right, final thing to touch on, and this is kind of the most important thing for people to understand. The surgery without it, insurance is like wildly expensive, as any surgery is. I mean, you can go to the hospital for like stitches and it's $800 or something silly. So to let y'all know, what my insurance was billed from the doctor was $22,000, and from the surgery center was $9,000. Came out roughly to $32,000. That's without insurance. That's what my insurance got billed. So depending on what insurance you have, or if you have any, is going to depend on whether you can afford it or not. We went into this year restructuring our insurance last year to prepare for this surgery. So if you have bad ears, I would recommend doing that. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. So working with Dr. Hetzler was considered in-network. I don't know how all that works, but I just know that we made phone calls to his office, to the surgery center where I'd be getting my work done, and to my insurance company multiple times to make sure that it would be covered and to make sure that it was in network, because out of network is way more. But in network, you know, we ended up hitting our deductible with one surgery, so it was like $1,500. So depending on what your insurance is, you will pay more or less. But that was what we were able to do to make it affordable for us. But it is a gnarly, you know, if you tried to do that without insurance, it'd be gnarly. As far as flying out there, at the time, flights from Raleigh to San Jose, California were $250. Even at $300, you know, it would have been mellow. I flew the kids out there with miles, so we just paid for our tickets. And then there's plenty of hotels in the area. So, you know, there's stuff under $100. There's everything. It's Santa Cruz. There's tons of opportunity. So whatever fits your budget, it's totally doable. The surgery is always done on a Friday, and then his follow-ups are on Monday. But you don't have to go to his follow-up. I actually have a friend who recently went out there, got surgery done Friday, and I think flew back Sunday, because you do have a 24-hour period you can't fly. But then you're good to fly, and he said he didn't have any issues. Everything went well. But yeah, we flew out on a Wednesday. On Thursday, we had the pre-op meet with Dr. Hetzler, where he did the recording with the thing. Friday morning was the surgery, and by Saturday, I was back to doing stuff with the fam. Monday, I had my post-op cleaning, and Wednesday, we flew home. So depending on your budget, when you can do, you know, with a rental car, a hotel, and the surgery, you know, it is a process and it is costly, but there are ways, you know, to make it cheap based off if you flew in Wednesday and flew out Sunday, or if you Ubered to Santa Cruz and then Ubered, you know, if you go by yourself, you can't drive from the hospital back to where you're staying. So even if you rent a car, you would have to figure out an Uber to and from the hospital, which would be, or the surgery center, which would be wild, but you know, it's doable. I would recommend, if you could go with a friend, that's definitely better, but obviously makes it more costly. So anyway, things I wanted to break down for y'all was just the cost of the surgery and what our insurance was billed, what we ended up paying because of our insurance, and just that, like, if you're gonna do this, plan on doing it, you know, outside of tourist season when flights and hotels are cheaper, you know, maybe when you can take off work, but figuring out those finance sides of things, and then planning your insurance, like maybe it'll be next year, and so your insurance isn't gonna cover it this year, and so then you figure out what you need to do to make that happen. But it is doable to make it work, and it's worth it. If your ears are closing up, it's 100% worth it. Dr. Hetzler said he's done over 1,700 ear surgeries, and he hasn't had any, you know, major things go wrong with anybody. Everything's been fine. He's the guy to do it. I know I've now met more people who've had surgery done by him. So I know over 24 people that have had it done by him, and I haven't heard anything negative. It is just, it's worth it. So anyway, this isn't sponsored by him or anything. I paid full price for all this stuff. I just want to share this with anyone who's who maybe needs it, and you know, did it in like a little storytelling way, so hopefully you enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm back in the water. I've only swam and surfed once without earplugs, and it felt really weird to feel the water go all the way in my ears because it hasn't for so long. Just life is so much better now. So I'm gonna be taking care of them, wearing earplugs, making sure I don't have to go back until I absolutely have to, or hopefully I won't. But if I did, I'd do it all over again because it was worth it. So anyway, appreciate you guys listening. It was a whole lot of information. Hopefully you guys learned something and enjoyed the surf to travel to surgery and recovery. And yeah, from here, we're just back in the water full time. So hope you guys are having a good one. Appreciate you for tuning in. If you haven't been, be sure to hit subscribe. The rest of you guys in the deal. See y'all next time. So yesterday, went back to the ear doc. This is week 6 since my surface ear surgery. Finally cleared to get back in the water. Took a little longer than expected. It'll be interesting to get my sea legs back. I'll be like Bambi on ice, but I'm excited to get back in the water. It's a mystery bar. I'm guessing it's at least cool water.
Why?
Well, because it's blue, tinted blue, like if it's warm.
No, like why are you using that bar?
Well, because this stuff is so sticky, it's like rubbing your, I don't know, it's like crazy how easy it's coming off the bar onto the board. Well, I'm out of shape. I have been rowing some. I think I rowed like 5 times. But the last time I rowed like 6,300 meters trying to stay in shape for this, but that was a week ago. Surfing is just another beast. But board felt pretty good. I don't know, the waves are weird. I haven't surfed in 2 months, so can't give a proper review. But the one thing I will say was like, even as off as I felt, it would like flow through turns really good. Like even if I felt like I was in a weird spot, oh Mason, go! Even if I thought I was in a weird spot or mistimed it or something, it would like kind of glide through, so I'm excited to ride it more. Felt good to be back in the water. I'm back. Now to be ready for the week ahead.